start over.
It'll okay.
Tell where you were and everything. The setting.
Just start over the whole thing.
I was at work at the pumpkin patch in front of my largest field trip I've had yet. 106 people. Half were preschoolers, half were their parents. So I'm standing in front of my table, covered in pumpkins, and all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I see this black thing come down, and it goes right into my cleavage. I literally, this is the only part of my shirt that's open. This little tiny, like, the size of a quarter, keyhole, right into my cleavage. I smack myself. As I'm talking, I'm trying to push it. And I can feel, and then I think I've killed it. And then it starts moving again. And I do this little dance. And I'm doing this little dance and I'm hitting myself. And no, I don't think anybody realizes that there's a spider in my shirt. So I'm like, the whole time. And then, so I didn't strip off my clothes. Like, every fiber of my being is thinking, just take your clothes off. Just take them off. Just take them off. Preschoolers. The preschoolers. They've all seen boobs. They're probably breastfed. So I leave. And I'm like, okay, everybody, stay here. We're going to split into 2 groups so we can do hay rides. And then I book it, and I run out, and I run into the storage room, and I rip off my sweatshirt, and I pull up my shirt, and I look down, and there's a giant dead spider right here on my cleavage. It's like in my bra.
That is disgusting.
Pushed everywhere. There's like legs falling. And I'm like trying to wipe it all off, and I'm like freaking out. No, it was there. It was there. No, it was there.
Oh
so
my
then
gosh.
I come back out. My field trip is leaving. Uh-oh. You can't go. You can't go yet. You can't leave because the other field trip is going to be coming down. So I'm like now running after them. Stop! And I have to like herd them to the other side so they don't like run into the people who are getting off the hayride. And all the farmer guys who are driving the hayrides are like, what are you doing? Why are you bringing all these people up? And I'm like, well, I had a spider in my shirt, and they kind of got away from me. And they're like, what? So they weren't nearly as impressed as I was. They're like, did you kill it? I'm like, well, yeah, eventually, but you know,
Took some
excuse
time.
me, guys, hold on. There's a spider. Let me get it. Like, so the moral of the story is, no matter how bad life is, as long as you have a spider in your shirt, you'll be fine. In front of 106 people, life is not so bad. The end.
And it was giant.
It was like that big. And we keep finding them.
Is that with the legs?
Yeah, like its body was like as big as my thumbnail. Like it was a big mother.
That is disgusting. And it was in her shirt.
Did you look at the bottom?
It wasn't even in her shirt. It was in her bra.
It was like brown. So I had found
Brown?
one
like
earlier.
small, so.
And it was like a tunneling one because I found one. We have baskets that have like stuffed animals in them, and I was rearranging them, and I poked one, and I screamed. Thank God I was alone in the store. And I took the basket outside and dropped it off and ran back in because I was alone and I couldn't do it by myself. And I couldn't find it again, so I'm like moving the horses out, and then I found it, and I had to wait till the other girl came, and she then released it into the wild, which I thought was a bad idea because I knew it was going to come back, and I bet that's the one that went in my shirt. I bet you anything. That was the same spider.
Do not release the spiders.
Don't release. No.
Kill.
I found one in the apples too, and I took that one outside, and I made a boy go through them, and he's like, there's no spider in there. I'm like, well, there's spider webs. Like, they do these like tunnels, and it's everywhere. So now, like, anytime, like, anything, like, the rest of the day, I was convinced there was one in my pants. Yeah, right? Like, people kept, like, touching me, and they kept doing that.
About the 2-year-old.
Oh, I also got felt up by a fireman that was 22 months old. He came with his family, or like his grandma was chaperoning, and so like he was there like a sibling. A lot of times they bring siblings. So I'm out in the yard with him, and I'm like, okay, you guys are getting ready to go get your pumpkins. You're almost done playing. And all of a sudden, I feel this hand go from my ankle almost all the way up to my skirt because I was tight to the skirt. And I thought it was a cat at first, and I looked down, and it's this little boy, and he's like rubbing. He's 22 months old, and he's like rubbing on my leg, and he's like, pretty. And he like looked at me and it was pretty, and the guy was like, I'm sorry, he really likes ladies and he really likes legs. We don't know what we're gonna do. And then he kept like he would like walk around and he'd be like, pretty. And then he would keep touching my legs, and I was like, okay, hold, and like I would like move away, and like all of a sudden he'd be touching me again. Not awkward. So a spider got to second base with me, and a 22-month-old child fell to my leg in one day.
This is what happens when you work at a pumpkin patch.
Yeah.